What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're circling back. We're circling back to a palette that I mentioned in my most recent long video where I tried to replicate some items that I had my eye on in the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and I didn't end up buying any of them because I was able to duplicate them for the most part with stuff I already had. Now, in trying to duplicate a Tom Ford quad, I pulled this Pixi. I'll link to that video down below if you want to give it a watch. But I mentioned this Pixi Tina Yong collaboration palette in that video. Came pretty close, but we ended up going a different direction. But I wasn't quite done with this. You know, I wanted to dive in more, not only to this, but into a couple of other collaboration palettes that Pixi also sent me with this. From Promise, from Lousie Roe, a lip palette, and from Denise. So I thought this would be, let's just use these today. You know, we got the hair up, we got the base on, we're ready to go. Let's roll. Okay, I'm actually starting with the face again today. I know. Who am I? Normally I'm an eyes first kind of gal, but I really want to get into this collab palette with Pixi and Promise. Which, by the way, let's just take a little glance at it. So we have two cream tone shades, one yellow undertone, one cooler, a highlight shade with a pink undertone. Then you start getting into the bronzy shades here. Again, kind of a light medium tones, both warm and, well, cool and warm. And then a really pretty bronze highlighter here. And then you get into the deeper, medium and deeper bronzer shades. All of these are matte, by the way. The three on the bottom and the light two bronzers on either side are all matte. And when you look at a palette that only has, 9 pans in it, what range? I have really high hopes for this. Have not touched the powders yet, though, to see if they are, maybe a little powdery, a little chalky. Sometimes matte powders can do that to you. I'm hoping that the lightest bronzers aren't too deep for me. I've been trying really hard to go more subtle with my bronzers. After picking up my Huda Beauty Glowish, this is like the perfect shade for me. It keeps me from overdoing it. And I reached for, what did I reach for the other day? Oh, this Color Club matte bronzing palette, and very pigmented, by the way, if you're looking for a good drugstore palette. And again, it's just these, even the lightest shades are very deep, or not very deep, very pigmented and a little bit warmer than I'm used to wearing. And naturally, I overdid it. I put it on, I stepped out of the house and I looked in the mirror and I was like, we are a little orange looking today. So I'm hoping, the nice thing about this palette is that if I do find that the lightest shades are still too deep, or that I even just want to kind of customize my shades, I do like how she has included these cream shades, which are not only great for, highlight, matte highlight or setting powder, but if you want to kind of like lighten any of your bronzer shades, you can kind of mix and match and customize your tone. But for right now, I'm going to go in with the lightest kind of taupe. Is that gonna be too cool? A mixture of the lightest taupe and the lightest warm undertone one. Ooh, that is nice. And I have to ask you guys, is it just me, or are these Pixi collaborations getting as much attention as they used to? I remember back when influencers like really first started collaborating with brands, Pixi was one of the first brands I remember to do this, and they were a really big deal. And now I feel like they're still obviously coming out with them, and they're still sending them in PR, which frankly, I don't know why any brand, it's surprising, is sending me in PR because I'm not posting really regularly. I know I've fallen off of a lot of PR lists, so to still be getting this from Pixi is really super nice. Thank you, Pixi. But they're not only coming out with them, but they are promoting them, and I just feel like they aren't getting quite as much attention on YouTube channels. Instagram, makeup artists just aren't, whoa, wild brow moment. Just not getting the attention they used to and oftentimes deserve, because Pixi is still out here making some really, really nice products. Back to this. I mean, it's not patchy. It's matte. I mean, you can see, but it's not patchy, it's not chalky, clumping up. I've been having some interesting skin issues, to say the least, between, dryness down the center, acne all over, you name it, I got it. And this, I have to say, is still flattering my skin and all of its texture pretty nicely. Now for the blush, I'm gonna go into the Pixi and Denise palette, and this, it's called the Mind Your Own Glow Find the Light palette, and these are all shimmery shades. So I'm like, are they supposed to be? I threw away the packaging. It came in like this massive box that got tossed quickly after getting these, and so I probably should have kept it so I could like look at the information that came with it. Unsure if these are supposed to be blushes and highlighters, just highlighters, what we're working with here, but I guess we'll soon find out. Let's try and use, ooh, I don't know, something like this as a blush. It gives me very much cotton candy palettes, cotton candy blush vibes from Beauty Bakery, that phenomenal palette. And this I'm going to use more of a sparse brush at first because I'm just not sure how, it looks very bright in the pan, but it's actually coming off as a little bit more subtle, but very glowy on the cheeks. I would say less pigmented than the Beauty, just as glowy, but less pigmented than the Beauty Bakery, if that makes sense. Like I'm getting major glow, less pink. And as I look at both of these palettes, they're very multi-use. Like I know we're here technically for the eyeshadow palette, but honestly, I kind of want to use both of these in an eyeshadow look too, because mattes are amazing for contouring your crease, and then we have just some amazing glowy options that you can get at like a fresh, dewy, but still contoured eye look. Another video. Now that we have some subtle blush on, you know I love a good highlight mixture, so I'm gonna go in with, what am I gonna go with? We're gonna get just this champagne to start. Ooh, frosty pink and champagne. We're gonna do both. Frosty pink and champagne, and with this kind of blush going on, that's gonna give me some room to play in the eyes. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like it's too overboard yet. Speaking of the eyes, let's go ahead and move on to them. The Pixi Tina Yong palette, what a beautiful spectrum of shades. And you got a variety of finishes, both matte and shimmer. I don't think anything deviates too far from like a shimmer. There's no glitter, there's no, you know, multi-chrome or anything like that, but it's a good, solid mixture of colors and textures. And even a mixture of like both warm and cool tone browns, like these terracotta browns, but you also have your taupey browns. So no matter what your undertones are, there's a little bit of something for everyone in this palette. I don't even know where to start. What do? Classic smoky bronze. Well, we did that yesterday. Uploaded a short on it. Let's do, ooh, outside of my comfort zone, tealy blue. Okay. So first I'm gonna go into the crease with this shade, starting from the outer corner, working my way in. And then once I have that worked into both creases, also kind of blending pretty high up onto my brow bone, I'm gonna go in, I'm kind of chickening out. I'm not gonna do the bright blue. I'm gonna do what is kind of like a dark tealy green. I'd say it's closer to a green than a blue, but it's not bronze, it is different. Same brush. This, by the way, is a Prados P21 brush, and that I am just starting to pack in my outer corner, blending it into my lid. You see what's going on. We can all be honest, we're not here for my artistry, and definitely not for how I explain things. Using a Real Technique shading brush, I'm going into the shade just next to the one that I grabbed. It's like a deep blackened greeny gold sort of thing, and I'm running that along my lower lash line, and apparently getting a little messy in the process. Whoops. Okay, I am just gonna put just like a little hint of bronze here because I feel like something warm, just a little bit of a warm shade is really gonna complement the green in here. Yeah, yep, love it. And then I feel like this look needs a little something. What is that? We might need to make an eyeliner out of the light baby blue shade in here. Where's my Duraline? Where's my anything? Where's my mixing medium? Tell you, you clean your desk one time and now you can't find anything. Okay, my Inglot Duraline has walked off, so I'm just gonna use a makeup setting mist. This is from Pot Beauty. It's their Makeup Magnet Mist. And I'm gonna spritz that. You could scrape a little powder off on a separate palette and mix the two together. I am just gonna right into the palette, which didn't work as well as I thought it would. So I'm gonna take this tiny little ring mixing palette that I have, spritz that a lot with my medium, and then take what is basically a bunch of powder that I have gotten. Oh yeah, powder that I've gotten from my pan, and I'm gonna mix it on here. That's what we're doing. And basically what you want is a paste. I'm hoping this is as pigmented as I thought it would be. Oh, yeah, it's shaping up to be pretty pigmented. Just going in with another light layer here, just to make sure I'm maxing out on my pigmentation. But ultimately, it's not supposed to be all that pigmented because it is, you know, a light minty green. Ooh, I like that. There is something so gratifying to me about like getting into a palette and getting kind of messy with this whole like mixing medium, you know, and to have a pan, as satisfying as it is to see just like a perfectly unswatched pan, there's something about seeing a well-used pan that is also very gratifying. And so this part of playing with makeup is a big part of why I like playing with makeup. Because you just like get your hands dirty, you know? Another thing on my mind, totally random thought as I was looking at the names on these collaboration palettes. Would it be weird to hire someone to do your signature on one of these palettes? I mean, someone like Denise. Gorgeous signature. And in general, influencers that collaborate with brands and they like have their name that's beautiful. My signature sucks. If I were to do a collaboration with a brand, I would want to have a signature on it, but I wouldn't want it to be my signature. And granted, you could do something like, you know, Lousie Roe. There are some like typefaces on here, and who, for all I know, maybe somebody did like create a typeface for this. But the thought did occur to me, would it be wrong for me to hire somebody else who can spell or write my name prettier? This is not a question that needs answering anytime soon. I have approximately 0 collaborations in the works. But just sometimes you think, what if I did? And then could I use that signature on everything? When I sign documents, would that be a legal signature that I could use on like everything else in my life? That would be ideal. This is Revlon's So Fierce Big Bad Lash Mascara, by the way. Pretty impressed with how it's doing so far. This is like my second time wearing it, and it's really nice at lengthening, separating, and giving, not curling necessarily, but it does give my lashes like the nice curly flare that I like over here in the outer corner. Okay, eyes done. Let's move on to last, which is lips. So they have the Pixi and Louise Roe lip palette here. And I gotta be honest, it's nothing like, looks like a great color combination, like you have something for everyone in here. I'm just not big on lip palettes. Let me know if you are down in the comments below, but I feel like I need my lip to travel with me. I need to be able to touch up on the go. And I don't love having to apply with a brush, which I suppose a lot of these shades you could just kind of go in with your fingers and stuff to apply them. But I don't know, it does, however, give you a lot of power to mix and match and make your own lip color. So there is that. I just don't know. Let me know your thoughts on lip palettes. For this look, I'm gonna do like a rosy brown. So like playing in these colors down here, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with this guy, and this is on an eyeshadow brush. I haven't applied lip. Is that that's not the color I wanted to go in with. Oh well, we're doing it now. That is pretty. You know what? I'm just gonna, with my fingers first, and then I'll go clean it up with a brush later. These are like soft matte cream lipsticks. They are pretty pigmented, but they don't feel heavy or cakey or anything like that. And the warm, I kind of like how, you could really go either way with this eye look because I did both warm and cool together. Interesting choice, Bailey. So there is a warm lip option, but then I'm gonna go in to the one right next to it, the one that I thought I was going into all along, which is a little bit cooler, a little bit more pink. Yeah, I think the two of these together are gonna be super nice. How did glitter get in here? Where did glitter even come from? You weren't invited. Okay, once again, I'm too impatient for the brush, so I'm going in. Okay, bear with me. I am just going a little bit deeper because I feel like this look just needs a little bit. The lack of blush, I'm feeling a little washed out, but oh, look at that highlight. I look like I am wrapped in saran wrap, and I don't hate it. The lack of pigment on the cheeks is really throwing me though. I feel like something's washed out, so I am actually gonna go in to the lip palette to get just a little bit more of a flush. Gonna go in with this rosy pink right here and a brush. This does not say it's a blush palette, by the way. We are just getting in trouble. I do like that better. Probably should have gone with a warmer, peachier blush, but we're gonna call this a day. We're gonna call this a day. I really like all of these palettes. Aside from, like I said, I'm not sure how practical the lip palette is gonna be for me on a day-to-day basis, but I really, really like the face palettes are probably my favorite. The Pixi and Promise Sculptor palette and the Pixi and Denise Find the Light palette. These are some really fun palettes. And the eyeshadow palette is if you're looking for variety, a really nice one too. So that's it, you guys. Let me know what you think of all these down in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me with all this. Let me know what you think. Again, down in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.